The only doll I remember having when I was a little girl was probably a hand-me-down. My four sisters and I grew up poor, and my parents couldn't afford new toys for us, but at that age, I don't think I knew that. We made our own fun, as most children do, with whatever was handy: a pot and pan, an empty oatmeal container, a box. We made little homes for ourselves under bushes and trees outside. We'd climb in through low branches and clear out a spot and place our rugs or dishes and pretend the rest. My favorite doll, and the only one I remembered, was a little ball-jointed doll with eyes that opened and closed when she was moved or jiggled. Her eyes had very long lashes, and she had a very sweet expression. I say that she had eyes, but what I mean is that she should have had both eyes, but for whatever reason, she was missing one eye. I can only imagine the horrible mishap that befell this doll before she came into my care and keeping. But whatever happened to her before she came to live with me, now she was mine to protect. I loved that baby doll so much, mainly because I felt so sorry for her only having one eye. She stirred my maternal instincts. I had to help her and make sure that her every need was taken care of so that she would never be hurt again. I think my mother even tried to talk to me about giving up this baby doll, but I refused. It would be desertion when she needed it the most. How could I possibly? I don't know if we lost the doll in the move from Oregon back to Oklahoma, or if my mother in her wisdom saw the need to make the doll disappear once I started elementary school. I'd like my little dolly to know that I never gave up on her willingly, and that if I had the choice, she'd still be pampered on my pillow. But in the years since, I have always felt a strong pull toward people who I felt were deserving of my pity and help, those who are less fortunate. As poor as we were, there were children who had less. My mother always told us about the starving children in China and other places, which led to my need to clean my plate. But that's another story entirely. I always felt the need to help in whatever way I was able. I will gladly give directions to anyone asking. I have looked up phone numbers and addresses. I have been a go-between and diplomat for other children having disagreements. I have loaned money to people, knowing full well they were never going to pay me back. Both of my ex-husbands fell into the category of hard luck stories. Gah! Maybe I am just a sucker for a sad story. Thank goodness I have never had someone really take advantage of my soft heart. Well, except for the last ex-husband. For years, I thought that I ended up as a social worker because that was the only job that presented itself right out of college. I thought I was just in the right place at the right time, and I might have been. But I am now convinced that the helping profession drew me to it like a magnet draws metal. I feel I was able to do a lot of good while I worked in that profession. I saw the worst of the poor in our community and was able to ease their situation for a brief time, some by helping them get food for their family, some with cash assistance that helped them keep their electricity on. I saw social workers who'd grown so hard and calloused that they really should have retired, and I worked hard to never become that jaded. I always remembered being on the other side of the desk, applying for help, and I treated each person as an individual who deserved respect, and sometimes I fell for a hard luck story a client would give me. Fortunately, I always had a good supervisor to tell me the rest of the story. If I found out someone hadn't told me the whole truth, it surprised me every time. How could they look me in the eye and lie to me like that? I knew, of course I knew, on some level they were only doing what they needed to in order to meet their needs. I have good memories of helping others in that profession. I'm retired now, but I still love to give answers that will help someone out. Ask me. If I know the answer, I will gladly share it with you.